Hello, hello. Hopefully everyone can hear me okay. Please let me know if you can hear the audio. I am Matt Affleck, and yeah, we're going to be playing the Poker Coach and Pre-Roll here today. So let's see here. This is looking good, I think. And we might jump in a couple other tournaments. You guys let me know. Do you want me to one table? Do you want me to play on 4 tables? You guys let me know. But we are off and running here. Be streaming for probably the next 3 hours or so. 10-7 off. It's close on the button. Bottom of the opening range, offsuit 7s. Offsuit 7s and a suited 5s. So we're going to go ahead and open this up. We get flatted by the small. Please ask questions, whether they're strategy questions, life questions, poker questions, goal setting for 2025. Multi-way here, probably see betting, I don't know, like 60% of the time. So there's a lot of checking. I'd prefer to have a spade. Having a high diamond is actually pretty good. I'm going to check, though, because the small blind's probably supposed to have leads, and they probably are just checking range. I think betting small is fine. Here, again, I don't know. I'd still prefer to have a lead. I think small betting is still fine. I think betting checking is fine. I'll probably just check back and then make a bet on the river as a bluff. Now, I think we are going to value bet if it checks to us. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and value bet. I think my weakest value bet here would be like probably this hand. I don't think I would value bet a 9. It's good that we get through the small blind. We should basically like 100% of the time have the best hand here versus the big blind, and we do. 2040 mix at Resorts Mount. Man, I don't think I've played that game in years. I don't know. Ace 5 off. We're going to go ahead and open the cutoff. Good. Sounds like audio is good. You guys let me know. Can you still join the free roll? Yeah, there's late reg for an hour. You have to sign up for CoinPoker, though, through pokercoaching.com. I believe. I don't think you need to make a deposit, but if you don't sign up through them, then the free roll will not show up in your lobby. Yeah, let me know. Yeah, we could jump in. There's a $100 tournament and a $25 tournament, the Kahunas. We can go ahead and jump in those if people want me to play 4. The only thing is then it will be slightly smaller tables. So it's up to you guys. I'll wait and hear what the chat thinks. Thank you for tuning in. Yeah, I do like playing live mixed games. The only issue is 2040 is really small when you consider it's mostly chop pot games. So it plays smaller than 2-5 no limit. And then like the 80-160 game plays pretty large. And there's not really a middle ground like 40-80 game that runs. So I don't know. It's a little tough for live mixed games in Vegas. How can I join the tournament? You have to sign up for CoinPoker via the Poker Coaching affiliate link. I'm not sure what that is. Not really my forte. But it is out there. It's probably on pokercoaching.com. And then you have to sign up through there. You don't have to make a deposit, but you have to sign up through there to be eligible to see the free roll and enter it. Raise up the 4s. This deep, I think 2.5x is fine. I don't think it really matters. So you go 2.3. You can min raise, I guess. I don't think it makes a huge difference. Well, that's a good flop. I am going to be close to checking range. And the reason is here is like my only real advantages here are like aces and kings and queens. And those hands really with a 10-1 SPR on this flop aren't very, how do I say it? Like strong, like nutted hands, just because like sets are such strong hands here. If we were shallower, the shallower we get, the more I can start betting with like hands like jacks I can stack off. But with like a 10-1 SPR versus this large of a bet, raising is not going to be a very large part of my strategy. So I'm just going to check call. Pots it again. I mean, clearly I could shove. I think I would shove sevens for sure because I can get it in versus sixes and fours. I might just call with fours. I think shoving's fine. Like call or shove are both fine. And obviously we snap call here with fours. And yeah, we get in versus 7-6 suited, which is pretty lucky because there's only two combos of 7-6. There's only two combos of 7-6 suited, but there's 6 combos of pocket sevens and pocket sixes plus 9-8 suited and stuff. So like four is like it's a really strong hand there and stuff. Like I'm fine getting it in, but it's close between check call and raise. How many hours? We're gonna go ahead and 3-bet the 2 jacks here. How many hours do you reckon you have in poker? That's a interesting question because I don't even know the answer, but we can kind of figure it out. I probably played, I don't know, 2,500 hours a year. And I am 37 now. So let's see here. 37 minus, I started playing full time after college, so like 21. So 16 times 2,500. I suck at math. Let's pull out my phone. 16 times 2,500. That's like 40,000 hours of poker. But that's actual like playing. Plus, let's like throw in like studying and coaching and all that stuff. I don't know. I'm probably like at 50,000 hours lifetime. How many hours are there in a year? 24 times 365. That's 87. There's 8,700 hours in a year. And I'm probably approaching 50,000 hours. So 36.5, so I'm 36 and a half times 8,700. So that's 300. I've been alive for 317,000 hours. And I've played poker for 50,000 of those. So like almost like approaching 20% of my life has involved poker of some kind. That's kind of a cool question. Thank you for asking that. Oh, it looks like we got someone. So that was nice. Doubled up. Got a big stack here now. I don't know if anyone answered about 4 tabling, 1 tabling. Queen 8 suited here. I'm just going to go a call. I think a lot of people play 3-bet only. I would 3-bet like probably my bottom of my 3-betting range would be like suited 9s. So like Queen 9, King 9. And then I'd flat like Queen 7 suited here. You get a flat quite a bit here. Pretty good flop. Big blind doesn't have much deuce X. I do have all the suited 8s. It's an interesting spot. Like I think I could lead, but at this deep stack, like an 8 is not as powerful. I do have a lot of offsuit 10s now. So I think there is some merit to leading here. It's kind of close, though. Leading might be bad here. Interesting spot now. And the big blind calls, I mean, obviously you can have every 8. You can have every 10. You can have a plethora of straight draws. Not really an ideal situation now, which means my lead on the turn might not be good. And we get this. This kind of sucks. I'm just going to fold. What is the RNG phrase on the chat? I don't know. I don't really know what's the... What's the best strategy for crushing free roll tournaments like this? Oh, just play good poker. I think people overanalyze, like, what's the best strategy for this tournament? What's the best strategy for this tournament? And, like, just play really good poker. And, like, most of your money just comes from your opponents making mistakes. So if you're in a free roll, your opponents are probably going to make a lot more mistakes. So you're going to make more money. Bro, you don't play 7 hours a day every year for 16 years? Just stop. No, but I play 10 hours a day, 5 days a week. About. Roughly. And then, like, I probably play somewhere between 40 and 50 hours a week. And then I do coaching and studying and all that on top of that. So it's, I mean, I don't know. I'm estimating this type of stuff, but I mean, there was a time where I definitely played 7 days a week, 6 days a week, 8 hours a day, for sure. I don't really take a lot of days off. We cover all the offsuit straights, which is really nice here. I don't think I'm going to go big bet since the small blind still has some strong hands, but big bet might be better here. Pretty good spot here. I don't think 3-betting the flop's a huge part of my strategy, but call. I don't necessarily love raising this hand, but going call seems definitely fine. I mean, raising here is reasonable, but I think most of our strategy is going to be call. So, like, calling is kind of the safe answer here. I'm still going to, like, play a lot of my straights and 2-pair sets like this. If he checks, having spades kind of sucks here, but we're probably just shoving. Getting ace-high spades to fold. Like, he can have king X of spades here, a reasonable amount. It could be better to shove with, like, Jack 10 or something that blocks, like, some of the 2 pairs and stuff, but it's a free roll. You shouldn't bluff. Yeah, just play good poker. This deep, I'm going to fold this. Seems like some people want me to keep tables to minimum. We'll keep it here as long as there's enough, like, questions in the chat and stuff to keep me, you know, talking and stuff. I'm fine one tabling this. Now we got a stack too. We didn't bust in the first hour. We chip leader of this? Nope. 26th. Be pretty scammy if I won the free roll as the pro streaming this, wouldn't it? Let's see here. Covered that question. Can I turn down the CoinPoker noise? Let's see. I have a monks when I'm multi-table and I time out on this site a lot. Am I the only poker coaching coach playing the free roll today? I don't know. Probably. Someone streams it every week. Ace. Leave it. Leave it. Already here. So we got Jackson 873. All 4 players obviously can have sets. So under the gun here, the issue is like we don't cover the 8 and we don't cover the 7. And we don't cover 3. So it's basically we have an overpair or bust here. How valuable is an overpair here? I don't know. Somewhat. We're short with this guy, which is nice. Like an overpair is the most valuable here against the shortest stack, which is really good. Like it's not as valuable versus these 2 players because they're deeper. Like the value of the overpair goes down. So like this spot, I mean, this sucks. We're going to fold the best hand here a lot, but just like we're just getting atrocious odds here. This could be 9s and 10s, but I mean, I don't know. Yeah, like I'm not too surprised to see that, but whatever. Obviously would have called the first all in. I thought having spades there was bad. That's a very good question by Albert Zhu. So he is referring to the Queen 7 hand. So let's see if we can pull that up. I hate how this does it. Why does it keep going to the background? Does anyone know how to do that so it doesn't? Oh, I know why. Because this probably. Yeah. So if we go back to, I don't know, how can I go back to that hand? It won't let me go back because we moved tables maybe. Anyways, the Queen 7 of spades hand when I shoved river and like spades are bad. Like, yes, spades are bad. However, what hands do we have that don't have a pair there? So I'm asking this to you, Albert, and this is a very good question because I get this all the time from students. Because you're not wrong, the spades, you don't want to bluff with spades. But my question to you then is, what hand do you have that does not have a pair that does not have spades in it? Because there isn't one. Because we're folding ace queen on the turn, we're folding ace 10 on the turn, like all the straight draws and stuff. So we really only have flush draws. Now, there's a chance that bluffing with, say, a jack 10 without a spade is better than bluffing with queen 7 of spades. That could be a reasonable answer to the question. But it just like you don't have anything but spades there. So I would avoid nut spades. Like I would avoid ace high spades because of this spot sucks. This player is sitting out. So we're hijack. It's kind of a small 3-bet. Like I think we're in too late a position to ever fold this. I don't really want to 4-bet this deep with this type of hand. Like I'm just gonna call, but I think folding pre-flop is fine. I'd fold ace 10. And I wouldn't fold ace queen. So there's a chance I can just min raise here if this player, because this player should be checking a lot on this flop. Like they're probably c-betting way too much on this board, and like because of that, I can actually play like leads here. Like leading here is now like a reasonable answer because it's going to go check here a lot. King is not ideal, as 2 kings is going to be a lot of the range. I think an ace is still worth like a reasonable amount here though. Like I think it's worth a lot more than a block. My bluffs here would be like pocket 5s, 5-4. So going back to that queen 7 spades hand, it's just like I don't have any hands that aren't spades there. So like I'm forced to bluff with spades. I probably wouldn't bluff with ace high spades because I think that's where a lot of the folds come. A lot of the folds probably come from ace high spades. And it's just like in spots where people are really, really polar. So like he check raised king jack nine, barreled off, like, and then once he checks the river, he's really just not ever checking any value because like I'm gonna check back ace king. So like any two pair plus should just be shoving the river. Let's see here. What year were you chip leading the main event? 2010 and 2009 actually. How many times a year do people bring up the Duhamel hand, not counting the same? I don't know. Really only during like live poker. Did you fold ace-8 suited there? If so, why? I don't think I folded ace-8 suited. How to play when everyone is calling 3-bets and 4-bets on. It gets tricky. Well, 1, you can 3-bet bigger. 2, you should just be 3-betting and 4-betting linear. So how do you like punish someone that's calling your 3-bet with 10-9 offsuit? Well, you start 3-betting them with Jack-10 suited. And you start 3-betting. You don't want to 3-bet them polar. You want to 3-bet them linear now. You start 3-betting like Queen-Jack suited and Jack-10 suited and King-Jack suited. All those types of hands. That's how you like punish people that call too much. So 3-bet wider. Like it doesn't, like most people think like a good hand is like 10s plus. Like start 3-betting like King-Jack suited and Ace-Queen off. What frequency do you defend against a 3-bet when you're in or out of position? I mean, it depends. It's kind of a question that's like very dependent, but most of it depends on the bet size. The first thing is the size of the 3-bet. That's always the first thing. What kind of pot odds are you getting? The smaller the 3-bet, the wider you defend. You actually defend more out of position than in position because normally when you're in out of position, you're facing a smaller 3-bet. So if you make it 2.5, they might make it 7 big blinds in position. So you're getting a pretty good price. But if you raise the button to say 2.5, they might make it 10. So you actually like fold a bit more, but it's because of like the bet size. So like just being, you want to be very, very sensitive to bet sizing. This is not a terrible hand to bluff. Like having a deuce in my hand is really good, but I would just rather bluff here with like deuce 7 or 10 deuce or jack deuce. Like I would just use those as my bluffs here. 6 deuce is bluffing with a 6 is also really good here. A 6 might actually be the best bluff here because like a 6 plus a diamond is going to be my best bluff because the hands that get there are like pocket 6s and diamonds, and I want to block those. What is a good sample size for live hours to get a pretty good estimate of big blind for 100? To be honest, I have no idea. I haven't considered myself like a live player in quite a while. Good luck, KDR. All right. I've had both people say both for sounds on and off, so let me know. Are you playing any events at the Wynn next month? Probably. I haven't really looked much at the schedule. Or I saw it was like it's a small signature series, so there's probably just like a 1K and a few 600s. I'll probably be in some, but it's not like a huge priority. Like I'll just play normally my normal schedule is like I play online 4 or 5 days a week, and then like Friday, Saturday I'll play the multi-flight live event, whatever it is, like a 600, 1K, 1500 at the Wynn or Venetian. And then if I make day 2, I play Sunday. If not, I play online. This is kind of a loose open, but we'll get in the mix here. What is the free roll called? Poker Coaching Invitational 63. Do you think GG buying the rights to the WSOP will bring more online poker to more states? To be honest, I don't really know, but probably. So we raise offsuit 9s, so we cover pretty good like portion of this Flop. Small blind should have some offsuit tens, like king 10, queen 10 off. Be close if they do or not. Most people do, but just kind of matters for bet sizing if I can go big or not. Do you think poker will be dead anytime soon? No. They've been saying poker will be dead for lots and lots of years. If you guys are referencing a hand in the chat, please ask, like, say, you don't need to describe the whole hand, but just say what the hand was. Like, when you got, like, if you're asking about ace-jack offsuit, like, when you call the 3-bet out of position with the ace-jack offsuit and the flop came ace-6-4 or something. Like, just so I remember, because I'm on a 2-minute delay. Because I thought I was going to be playing other tournaments, but if I'm one-tabling this, I don't mind playing on no delay. But I'm on a, like, 90-second delay, so I might forget. And do you fold your smaller ace-x hands when you're getting 3-bet and call with more with, like, your suited connectors and small pairs, which are easier to play post-flop? I mean, it all depends. So, like, when you're getting 3-bet, it's kind of like most people just think of, like, how you're doing against aces and kings and, like, the really good hands. But it actually, like, has a lot more to do with, like, how your hand plays against their their marginal hands. So, like, if they're bluffing hands like king-jack off, you don't really want to be calling the 3-bet with, like, queen-jack off and jack-10 off and stuff. You want to, like, the majority of the range is still not going to be aces and kings. Sure, you should probably always have 4-bet folds. Do I play anything else on CoinPoker? I played some. I might be playing more in the future. Supposedly it was announced that Global Poker is shutting down. And so, at least to Nevada residents. So I'm going to lose a lot of my volume there. So I'm going to have to, I'll be moving that volume to other sites. And I definitely might be moving that to CoinPoker now. Gonna fold the queen deuce. Where do I play online? In order currently, that's going to change next month. It's like Global, WSOP, Bet Online, and ACR in that order. But that's going to change when Global goes down. Hopefully Club WPT Gold will just swap that in. But, like, I do play some CoinPoker as well. Chrono Echo, you have to sign up for CoinPoker via the poker coaching affiliate code. Someone said it's PC. I don't know if that's true or not. Verify that, but that's, yeah. All right, 9-7 suited. With what adjustments for tables that have players sitting out? What other players flatting seals? So I'm going to ask this question. It's not meant to be, it might come off as dickish, but I'm going to ask you, like, what do you think the adjustments should be? So a lot of times people, like, I don't know, they overthink the adjustment. A lot of times, like, at least to me, the adjustment's kind of obvious, but, like, I want to think how other people think they should think the adjustment. So other people in the chat can answer. Like, what do you think the adjustments are for when you have players sitting out with other players flatting my steals? So when you have players sitting out, what's your adjustment? Yeah, if I had, like, I don't know. I mean, betting this 9-7's fine, but I'm just going to give up here. Oh gosh, I started a panic in the chat. Whoops. Global is shutting down to Nevada residents. Nevada. Yeah, so you live in Vegas. I guess Reno is the only other city people live in here. Yeah, they're not going to be. That's definitely confirmed, the Nevada part. Yeah, pulling out of NV is definitely confirmed. Other states, I have no idea. Whoa, Lin Lee, just going for it. Leave the info tab up. Any late reg for this? Till 6, I think. Yeah, so when players are sitting out, it's just like, so for example here, if the button is sitting out, I'm no longer the low jack, I'm the hijack. So I just open my hijack range. Right? If I'm in the hijack and the cutoff sitting out, I'm now opening my cutoff range. Right? You just open one position wider. Now, here, the small blind is sitting out. Well, the small blind was sitting out, and I'm in the low jack here, but all the in-position players are still sitting in. So I would open wider. I'd kind of like open in between a low jack and a hijack range. So how do I know that? I memorize my ranges. In terms of low jack, I'm opening offsuit 10s and 10s and 8s. And in the hijack, I'm opening 10s and 7s. So like I'd probably just open all the suited 7s and offsuit 10s from here. What will you play the most on? Like cash or MTT? MTTs, yeah. Combination of volume and soft fields, yeah. Queen 5, fold. I just fold the 9 deuce. Hello, Jose from Switzerland. I wish I was in Switzerland right now. I could go snowboarding or something. That sounds fun. Do HUDs work on CoinPoker? To be honest, I'm not sure. I thought for a while they didn't, but I've seen some people stream with them on, so I think there is a way to do it. There's probably other people in the chat or something that are more qualified to answer that than me. King 8, normally cutoff is offsuit 9s, so this would be a little bit of a wide open if I wanted to open it. We got the, whatever the screen name is, BOKH20, just rip it in the 40. So, like, I'm just kind of, I guess, pay attention to who's actually playing and who's just YOLOing it in. Doesn't really bother me either way. I just kind of play my game. Fold the 4 deuce. 1 second. Be back. What's the best state for someone that wants to be a pro? That's a good question. Vulcan, what types of games do you want to play? That's a first good question because it varies. Yeah, John, let's I've never gotten to do this before. Let's this sounds fun. Let's put John in a timeout for spamming. I've never gotten to do that. That sounds like fun. Yeah, don't spam your scam clubs. Yeah. Global has always been easy to cash out. Do it right to your bank account. Easy, Peanut. We do not scorn the Bitcoin here. We do not use the BTC name in vain, Peanut. We call it Forex here. I don't know. It's whatever. How to change in big blind? I believe you right click. Right click changes from chips and big blinds. I mean, I'm not folding. I'm just gonna call. This range is pretty uncapped. Like this player limp call, they can still have like 8-6 suited, some 2 pairs, all that type of stuff. So I think I would call some strong hands here. It's getting kind of an annoying spot now. Normally you do not fold pair plus draw here, so like pair plus gut shot. But I have like so many pair plus gut shots here that I would have folded to actually closing the action. This actually would have been a really close spot, but now it's an easy spot. This player is a limp calling. What is this green check mark, man? I have no idea. I don't know. Is that a note or something? No. Oh, for like live cash? Man, I'm not really a cash game guy. I mean, I play it, but I would say the best, like I've played a lot of live cash, I should say that. The best places to play live cash are probably not like the popular places like, you know, Texas, Florida, Vegas. Like probably the best places are like major cities that are not known as poker hubs. Like, so for example, like when I lived in Seattle forever, we had a really good cash game scene. You know, there's places like Tampa is really good. Tampa is like really, really good for live cash. You know, maybe Philadelphia or something. Like they have some casinos there and stuff. Like places that are big and have casinos, but aren't the natural like spots where all the tournament pros live. Yeah, Landon, I think it's going to be very successful. Just kind of based on the success of, you know, global and stuff. it's hard to imagine it not being that successful. I am a little worried, though, with the sweepstakes model and stuff and recent stuff with global, if that's going to have any issues. I am tired of standing, so I still need to get a computer chair. I moved. November 1st I moved, and then I've just been like, I had the win and everything, and I had a trip, and I've just been busy, and I got my place furnished, but that's one thing I didn't have. All right, we got a playable hand. We're a little shallower now. We're 2.3. I've never used the HUD or any other analytics tracking program. Should I? I mean, I'll just stop the question there. I mean, like, is there any, like, negative EV downside? Not that I can think of. Maybe there's something people could think of. But, like, it really can only help. This is a really small squeeze. Tempted to 4-bet, but we're just going to call. My hand plays pretty multi-way. This player's been pretty splashy too. So, and that is a beautiful flop. So, like, yeah, like, why would you not use a tool that gives you information? Like, your opponents are using it, so, like, you're kind of at, like, a disadvantage if you're not using it. I'm just going to call here. This player, like, I can get squeezed a lot by this player. This player's also been pretty splashy and just put in massive bets. So, oh my gosh, this is a dream card now. I'm not actually that worried about the flush. Like, yeah, they can have king, queen, and king, jack. I think shoving on the table. Is shoving on the table? Probably not. I mean, shoving's probably fine. I don't know if I like this bet size. I don't really know there. It's kind of maybe an interesting one to potentially look at. Yeah, Vulcan, playing at the Caribbean, the 300 cap. Yeah, I mean, I'm talking, when I said Seattle was really good, I was talking like in the 2010s, we were playing 5, 10, 10, 25. We were playing with a 500 cap. We were playing in that game, 5 days a week and stuff, and the games were great. I mean, the cap's not ideal, but it doesn't mean they're bad games. This player's been going crazy. I'm tempted to, like, squeeze here, but I don't really want to. Calling kind of sucks, too. But a 4-color deck. Yeah, I should have a 4-color deck. There we go. Good call. Whoever said that. All right, now we're out of here. Where did I play cash in Seattle? I mean, we played we played the PLO game at Tulalip. We played like 5-10 no limit at Snoqualmie. Like mostly Tulalip and Snoqualmie, and then in private games, but mostly just Tulalip and Snoqualmie. I'm gonna lead. My hand doesn't really want to check call. Like, it's a reasonable range flop. I don't know if it's really amazing, but it's probably fine. Just barrel with a diamond. Check fold this hand. The free roll started at a different time. I don't know. It started at 5 p.m. Pacific. I'm not sure what time it normally starts. Seems like a lot of Washington people in here. Yeah, you can play and watch for sure. Are you on my table, Joel? I'm on like a 90-second delay, so. Near the bottom of my opening range, I'd open offsuit sevens as well. Pretty good flop for small blind range. I'm just gonna check. I mean, betting's probably fine. Now with backdoor heart covered, I think it's like reasonable. I'm gonna check back a lot of King X on the flop. Yeah, 8 p.m. Eastern. That's what I thought. I mean, don't you think 2 minutes is not a big enough delay? Some people might try to stream sub you. I mean, in the free roll tournament, I just don't really care. Got some college football on, playing some poker. We'll get a bourbon going here on the next break. I remember this free roll being played at more at a friendlier time for Europeans, sadly. I mean, I actually don't know what the breakdown is. I'm assuming most of poker coaching members are American, but I could be wrong. Yes, go by. Did you sign up via pokercoaching.com for CoinPoker? We got this sitting out player here and a sitting out player here, so we're effectively like, I don't know, button cutoff, hijack, low jack. I'm probably opening like, I don't know, a hijack range ish. Having hearts kind of sucks here. I prefer to have diamonds, spades. My hand is like, I can't fold out any offsuit Broadway. So like a lot of the folds just come from ace six of hearts, 7-8 of hearts, this type of stuff. Probably supposed to bet, but I don't know like what I'm supposed to do here. It's kind of a weird spot. Betting small is never going to be a problem here. It's kind of nice to have some delay bluffs. I have an annoying spot now. So how do we logically think about this? This player is risking 2 to win 8. So we need to defend about 75%. Fold 25. I will have some... I'm going to have a lot of pocket jacks, pocket 10s, pocket 9s. This is a reasonable hand actually to raise. Potentially as a bluff. But I'm actually just going to fold here. It's a reasonable hand to raise, like blocking some like ace 7 or pocket 7s, potentially value betting. Any tips for accommodation in Vegas during the World Series? I mean, that type of stuff is so personal dependent. Some people don't mind hotels, some people do. I live in Vegas now, so that's not really an issue for me. But some people like being close to the strip because they don't want to drive. Some people like being far away so they get away from the strip. It's all, kind of personal dependent. So if you have some more specifics, I'm happy to help. But like, it's kind of a hard question because like different people have different expectations or different priorities, so. Late reg still possible? I think so. I think you have through the break at 6, but I'm not entirely sure. This player, Michael Mark, is probably a pretty weak player. I don't know. Sure. We hit the 9. We hit the jack. No one hits the 3. So it's a pretty good flop for us in terms of range advantage. We have 9x, jack x over pairs. We do have like the 10 blocks all their queen 10, king 10, 10, 8, 10, 7 continues. So the 10 is not useful. Or the 10 is kind of useful in blocking continues. Scoby, I had an issue and I had to like uninstall and reinstall CoinPoker to get it to show up. But again, you had to have signed up through the poker coaching affiliate code. So make sure you did that. And then if not, try maybe uninstall and reinstall. That worked for me. Yeah, so Sco, try uninstall and reinstall. No, 22. $190 people. Nice. Do you play WSOP Nevada for online? Yes, I play a lot on WSOP Nevada. It's probably my second. Actually, it is my second highest site by volume. Silent 40s. What would you say someone should bring to a one-on-one coaching session with you? Hand histories or just an open mind and willingness to listen? So, nice. We get a nice 3-bet spot here. Probably go with like 9s plus here. 8s plus. I will tackle that question after break. Silent 40s. That's a good question. I'm going to... Good. I'm glad that worked for you. I don't know what the issue was, but I was having a similar issue earlier. Cheers to anyone on Friday night. Just having a little bourbon. All right, so what would you say to someone should bring to a one-on-one coaching session with you? Hand histories or just an open mind? So the way that I prefer to coach and that I think is very effective is first it starts with like if you have a database of hands, like on Poker Tracker 4, if you have something like 30 to 50,000 hands, that's ideal. I have a lot of filters and like reports set up so I can do a database review. So like the first part of like, so here's the thing with coaching, okay? The value that someone gets when they come and they pay me an hourly rate to coach is me telling them things they don't even know, okay? So the value doesn't come from someone like, so here's the problem when I coach players that play live poker only, and why it's like sometimes not my favorite form is because I get sent hands that like are, you know, oh, this player check raised me on the river and what should I do? Like, to me, it's like, I don't know. I don't really think it matters here. It's like close. Like, it's like a close hand. It's like you make justifiers for call or fold. It's just like, doesn't matter. What matters for me, though, is like, do you raise king 8 offsuit on the button? Do you raise king 9 offsuit on the button? Do you raise king 7 offsuit on the button? Do you not fold the big blind with king of hearts 5 when the flop comes jack 4 3 2 hearts? Do you check raise enough? And like I have filters basically set up to like identify these things. So it's like as a coach, like when I have a database of hands, I get to go in and find the mistakes myself. Versus when students don't have a database of hands, I'm kind of at the mercy of them sending me spots there, or like generating like questions for them. It's just not quite as effective. Okay. So that's one thing that I'm like working on as coaching is like to help like coach live players better in terms of like leak finding. So like what I'm trying to do is basically like have like a curriculum of skills and then like quizzes for each of these skills, or like tests or drills. So if I can have them like drill the skill, like, so for example, like let's say I want to test to see if someone's opening like the button wide enough. Like I can set up a drill for them to like where it just feeds them hands on the button. They click fold or raise. Okay. And then I can identify very quickly, okay, you're not raising like wide enough on the button, or you're raising too wide on the button, or not wide enough. And like I can do that for every position type of thing. It's just a little more time consuming, but like coaching is kind of like, I view coaching as like, it's like skill acquisition. So it's like you work on one thing for one session for an hour, and if we need another hour, we keep doing it, and then you move on. So it's like we start with pre-flop, and like pre-flop is like, you know, so important, and we work a lot on that. Okay. And then we work on like c-betting in early position, c-betting, you know, in late position, c-betting out of position, turn c-betting, all these different things. And it's like when I have a database, this is kind of an interesting spot. I'm actually going to like not shove because I kind of want like this hand just plays well versus raise. And like I don't want like queen 7 off to fold. Like I don't want like a lot of hands to fold here. I'm not sure if I answered the question well enough. This is interesting versus a 3x. He's effectively the hijack, but I'm going to fold versus a 3x. So, yeah, in terms of like the coaching part, it's more like, yeah, having a willingness to learn. And then if you have like a database of hands, it's like pretty helpful and very, very, very useful. And so it's getting a little dicey with 220 big blind stacks. Like, I could certainly justify folding this, but I am in a min raise. This is a flop I should be checking a reasonable amount. This is like, the 9 is the bottom of my range. The queen of diamonds really good. I block a lot of continues, so we're just gonna go for it. Sure. Yeah, I mean, basically, if someone doesn't have a database of hands, I'm just going to be there presenting a lot of situations to them, and it's more about, like, the framework. So we want to develop frameworks where you can, like, build your strategies in game better, and, like, teaching you how to think about things in a very logical manner, because a lot of people just think about poker in very inefficient ways. They think about ways that allow them to, like use emotion too much in their decision making, and that can be fine for like a large percentage of the time, but like just kind of how emotions work. Like once you get into high pressure situations, your emotions are gonna like really, 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 really affect your decision making in a probably negative way, and it's gonna like shut down. So yeah, I really try to create logical frameworks of how you want to start thinking about situations. Yeah, let me know if you have more questions. It's kind of hard. It's a little bit of a broad question, but yeah, like in terms of like when someone first comes to me, we spend a ton of time on pre-flop. Okay, like a lot of people just really suck at pre-flop, and so it's a lot of pre-flop work. And people that think they're good at pre-flop suck at pre-flop. A lot of pros suck at pre-flop, and then it's like starting to work on some flop stuff. And you just kind of progress one by one by one by one. So it's kind of interesting. What's the SPR here? We're at 7. I'm going to go for geometric 2E because I'm really just betting like king 9 plus here. So I don't really want to bet at 8. I really just want to bet with like a really good king or better. And 7-5, there's like one of the kind of, I'm going to bluff with like flush draws and straight draws mostly. Now this one, because it's offsuit, it doesn't play as well pre-flop. We're just going to jam for the 10 bigs. So Dane, the accommodations in Vegas. You play every day. You don't drive. So they're like, you need to stay close to the strip. That's like that's like number one priority is like if you don't drive, you have to stay close. So, like, I live in the Meridian condominiums, which are walkable to the Rio. That's probably your best bet. Queen 8 deuce, we're going to range bet. We're betting our entire range. Turn deuce, not ideal. Don't want to bluff with an ace. Like, a lot of my bluffs here are just going to come from, like, 9-10 jack or a king high. I think ace high, and mostly, like, ace high is just kind of too strong to bluff. A lot of our bluffs fill, like, but we still have like king high and stuff. I think a lot of the folds, like marginal folds, come from ace high here, so I just don't really want to bluff with that ace in my hand. Just like starting to bluff with like a king or any other low high card hand. Yes, Alan, there's a lot of sites now that just don't have databases. I don't care about like you being able to use a HUD, but I do like it's one of the main things with like online poker is being able to have a database of hands. Ooh. Pretty good hand to bet here. So now we're shallower, like, and I have a pretty good advantage on like pocket tens or better. And I get, like when I bet big here, I can fold out like queen jack, king queen, king 10, ace 10. Not a good card to barrel. Like I'm looking for a high card, looking for a club, looking for a straight card. Here again, like having a club in my hand kind of sucks. I'd rather just bluff like, I don't know, jack 10 of hearts or jack 10 of diamonds or something. Or something with like the 10 of clubs would be better to bluff with the queen of clubs. Just because he's more likely to have like king, queen of clubs than 10, 8 of clubs. Yeah, he has a 9, which is fine, expected. The HUD kind of puts a Rex at a disadvantage. I don't know. Sure, yeah. I guess that's a reasonable take. I mean, it is available to them if they want to put like the time in to figure it out. But yeah, in general, it would like a rec is less likely to know how to use a HUD or whatever. But I don't know. Like, doesn't really bother me either way if there's HUDs or not HUDs. But I would like to be able to download hand histories. Man, the Syracuse-Washington State game. No one wants to play defense. Hope you took the over. So we're a little bit shorter now. Let's check the lobby. What's going on here? 390 left. So what do you guys have for goals for 2025 in poker? So let me ask you this, Scotland. Like, you obviously you know what a HUD is, since you asked about it. You asked, does it put a rec at a disadvantage? Like, sure, but if you know what one is, like, it really only takes like 20 minutes to like set one up. So it's like not really a if you do keto, your sniffle will go away. I didn't even know I sniffled. I haven't noticed. So, like, you know, it takes you 15 minutes to set up, so. You have trouble with trading. What do you mean by, like studying? And in what way do you have trouble with studying? Like, you don't know what to study, you don't know how to study, you don't put the time into study. Like, what, in what way? nice, Jeff. Playing a WSOP tournament. So let me ask you, like, how do you plan to accomplish to play in a WSOP tournament? So, like, it's easy, obviously, to say that you want to play in a WSOP tournament, but, like, what's keeping you from doing it? And how is that actually going to change? Because you can say it, sure, but nothing's going to actually change. Like, what actions are you going to take? I'm going to peel here. Pretty good flop. Oh, this is annoying. I mean, what the hell do we do here? I mean, we're flipping against like jacks and I mean, I just don't think I play much calls here. But I also don't have much fold equity. I would fold small flush draws. Like I would just fold 5 deuce of clubs here and stuff like that. I think a king high flush draw is pretty hard to fold though. Whoa, I didn't expect that in. And GG. So let's see here what we can do here. Because the stream, I'm supposed to stream for like 3 hours. So let's jump in something else. What can we jump in? What about this? Let's just jump in this. Oops. And then we'll kind of follow the free roll as it's going about. Obviously, we're going to get it in. Well, maybe it's not obvious, but we're getting it in here for sure versus this shove for like 15, 29 off. Someone asked earlier, is poker dead soon? I don't know. Doesn't seem dead to me. It's not like super small. Anyway, it's a $25 tournament. All right, let me check back here. So Marshall said his goal is to get to Vegas for at least 3 months, February through April, and play some low stakes MTTs. Cool. Again, just like when you guys have goals, just make sure you have like an actual plan behind them of how you're going to achieve them. So considering your current position in the tournament and the money, how do you play from here on outwards, or do you recommend playing from here? I don't know. Just keep playing good poker. People like, honestly, like, it sounds so weird to say, but like players that like just struggle, like they overthink things. They try to like create these convoluted ideas in their head of like how they're supposed to do things. But it's honestly, it's like you just like 90% of poker is just having good fundamentals. Nice. Build CoinPoker bankroll from 0 to something. I'm up to 20 so far. Awesome. So like do you have like a pillow pants? Do you have like a bankroll plan? Like how are you going to do it? Play 15 World Series events. Cash in 2. I don't like the cash in 2 part, Bourbon Dad, just because that's out of your control. Open. We're playing 60 effective here. This is actually a pretty good hand to 3-bet. This deep, I want some more suited stuff in my 3-bet range. Like I get king 7 off, king 8 off, king 9 off, probably king 10 off to fold. So I don't know how to play out of position. So I've done tons of content on poker coaching for out of position play. So I recommend so how you study and like how you get good at poker is step one be consume. So you consume content. Okay. This is not content. Like it is watching a video on poker coaching or another training site or whatever on a specific topic. So you want to work on out of position. Find videos on out of position play. Find 2 to 3 videos and then watch them, take notes, rewatch them a couple of times, and then review your own hands. Review every out of position spot you play for the next month. So you have to consume, but then you also have to work on what you consumed, right? That's what's going on there. So we'll keep playing this for a while, see how it goes, and then we will pull up the free roll as it gets deeper. Does CoinPoker work in Vegas? I am in Vegas, and CoinPoker is working for me. Learn how to do math for pot odds and minimum defense frequency. Yeah, not too hard. Should be able to do that really in you just want to learn percentage of pots. Pot size bet is a 50% defend. Third pot bet, you defend you fold 25 versus a third. So if it's yeah, you can just, that's not too difficult to figure out. I've done it in a lot of my videos, so you can go back and watch some of those. Yeah. Yep, pre-flop, 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 Marshall. Everyone needs to work on pre-flop more. What books do you recommend to read? I mean, I'm going to say this, and my boss has some books and stuff, but there's not a ton of books, I think, that are very current on the meta of poker. The one poker book I always recommend is the Mental Game of Poker 1 and 2 by Jared Tendler. I think that book is very, very good, and it's stood the test of time. That would probably be one of the books that I would just recommend. But honestly, the book form of content just isn't the best form of content really for poker, in my opinion. Obviously, training sites exist for a reason. I do read a lot of books, though, but not poker books. I read a lot of personal finance books, that type of stuff. Can I send a link to my online training in the chat? I don't want to pull up my browser and everything right now live streaming, but if you go to pokercoaching.com and just go to classes and then filter for my name, you'll find every piece of content. I have 250 1-hour webinars on there. I don't know if I understand losses. So I don't go from one headphone to the other. Is there echoing for people? Let's see here. Check OBS. Test, test. It looks like there's only volume on one microphone, but maybe I'm wrong. This is close. All right, now it's not close. It's kind of nice. Let's see. Do we want to jump in anything else? Like a turbo thing or something. Deep stack 25 hyper. That sounds kind of nice. 4-minute levels. Maybe we'll jump in that. You are welcome, Scott. Some of my goals, I haven't I've kind of working on for like a business plan for 2025. Things I'm working on. I know kind of where my areas of focus. Like a lot of my focus is going to be on like mental game stuff, that type of stuff. But in terms of like volume, let's put it in the chat. All right, let's play a game. How many games online do you think my goal to play is in 2025? So total games played in 2025. What do you think my goal is? So I set my goal up. So to clarify, yeah, we'll erase this. I set my goal of like I have a low volume goal. I'll have a low, medium, and high. I have an idea. I don't have the specific numbers, but I have an idea in my head, and I have kind of the way I'm doing it. So yeah, put in the chat of a guess of what you think my online volume goal is. All right, so we raised King 5. This is spot like cutoff versus button. We play like very high frequency check. I am going to check this hand. I mean, call and raise are both fine. I'm actually going to call. Like, shorter stacked here, you tend to slow play these types of hands. And deeper stack, when there's more money to get in, you kind of raise a lot more. I'm just going to call again. I see what people are saying with the mic. I didn't know that it would play different things on the left or the right or something. That's all. I know nothing about that type of stuff. Please bet all your chips. How many tables per session? I'll tell you after the question. So we got some answers coming through now. Probably on the low side, my volume goal is going to be like 6,000 to 7,000 games. And then on the high side, it will probably be like 10,000 games. I play like 12 tables at a time normally. Yeah. 12 tables. So yeah, somewhere between like 6,000 and 10,000 games will probably be the goal. How do I come to that number? So on a month when I will be playing full time online, like 5 days a week, and there's not like any traveling or anything going on, I'm probably going to get to about close to 1,000 games a month. So my average session is around, like a regular weeknight session is going to be around 40 to 50 games, around 50 games. Sometimes it's 60, sometimes it's 45, probably 50 is the average. And then a Sunday session is normally around 75 to 90 games. So on any given week, I'm looking at like 50 times 4, that's 200 games plus 75. So that's 275 games a week on a normal week. Now that gets sometimes detoured because I do play live tournaments on like Fridays and Saturdays. Sometimes I make a day 2 on a Sunday and I can't play Sunday. That cuts into that volume. So yeah, and then times 4 weeks a month. So that's like 1,100 games. And that would be times 12. Like that's 13,000 games a year. However, I don't really play during like June and July is the World Series, December's Win. Like I have live stuff going on. So that's where I come to like the 6 to 10,000 game range. So that comes from me playing about 50 games a session, 4 days a week, and then 75-ish games on a Sunday. So, yeah, that's there. And it's like, honestly, like, so let's say I play 10,000 games. Let's just say I play a $50 AVI. That's $500,000 in buy-ins. Let's say I'm playing at a 20% ROI. That's $100K per year. People kind of underestimate like how much money you can just make at low to mid stakes. Now, $50 ABI is probably like a pretty good level because I play everything from like 33s to 215s, etc. So, yeah, that's what's going on there. And I think a 20% ROI for myself is very, very conservative. I prefer to be conservative in my projections. We say, yeah, if you want to make a lot of money in poker, like it really like how you increase table count is a lot to do with like learning and doing a lot of pre-flop work. I can limp or raise this. Let's go for a limp. So like once you can like kind of like, all right, this nonsense, I don't know what this min raise is. Once you do a lot of like pre-flop work, good call, good check raise. We're gonna go for check raise here. Like they're probably c-betting this flop way too much. They should be checking a lot. Like the 10x, 9x stuff is really good for me. That is a good spot. I'm gonna go geometric here. So we're at like just over a 1.5 SPR. So if I bet just over half pot, just over half pot will get me to a, like I bet like 55% here and then 55% on the river. So you see here now I'm betting 23 into 41, which is just under half pot again. So I'm betting roughly the same percentage of the pot on the turn and the river. Hopefully they call. So like this is a game I might actually just play in my normal schedule. There's like different ways to make money in online. I choose to play like really high ROI games. So I play a lot of like $33, $50, even some $20 turbos and hypers and stuff. And I play a lot of tables. Do you ever play on Bet Online? Yeah, I have played a lot of volume on Bet Online. I prefer, they changed the tournament schedule though, unfortunately, recently, and it's become like there's just not as much volume on there available. But I play pretty much everything that runs on there. Yeah, Coin's getting some decent volume. I actually prefer the small field sizes. So like this is like a tournament I love. Like I love these like 40 to 50 person turbo, quick game time, not a lot of variance. Like something like this, I'd play a lot on my own. Regular session, I'd play a lot. Like just looking through like a 25 turbo, like I'd play something like this a lot. Like $50 1.5K, sure. Like $50 1.5K, I would play that a lot. $25 1K, sure. Especially if it's a turbo. Play this a lot. I would play this. This, I think the structures, like the lower the buy-in, 8 minutes, that's fine. Like the lower the buy-in, the quicker the structure I want. So, for example, like I play the least amount of volume on ACR, and the reason is that like one, the fields are a bit tougher, which is not the main reason, but I'm playing in tournaments that take 8 hours to finish for a lower ROI, versus on other sites, I can play higher ROI tournaments that take half the time. So. What if you're going deep in tourneys? How can you play so many? I mean, it becomes easier the deeper you go, because the deeper you go, the more it becomes just like a pre-flop game. So you're not really playing that many post-flop spots. So it actually is counterintuitive. It becomes a bit deeper. But if I'm like in a higher than average buy-in spot and I'm running deep, like I'll stop registering stuff until my table count becomes under control. What's the best way to study pre-flop ranges? So the best way, I mean, I can't pull up charts because I'm playing right now. The best way to study pre-flop ranges is it is some sort of memorization, but you just want to memorize the perimeters. So let's say you're at 40 big blinds on the button. If you look at a chart on Poker Coaching or any site, you're going to notice that you raise every offsuit 8 and every suited 5. Okay? So I'm going to remember 8s and 5s. Okay? 8s and 5s, 8s and 5s, 8s and 5s. Okay, so on the button, I raise 8s and 5s. Now, it's going to change a tiny bit based off stack depth, but like 8s and 5s. From the cutoff, the bottom of the range is 9s. It's 9s and 6s. So it's offsuit 9s and suited 6s. Okay. From the hijack, it's 10s and 7s. Offsuit 10s and suited 7s. From the low jack, it's 10s and 8s. Offsuit 10s and suited 8s. From like EP, it's going to be like jacks and 9s. Okay. So I remember, like, you want to remember the bottom of the ranges, okay? And that helps you a lot post-flop, because now you know where the bottom of your range is. So, for example, if I raised here, button, cutoff, hijack, low jack, here, and this is the board, I raise offsuit jacks, okay? The only offsuit hand I have that does not have a pair here is king jack, okay? So I have to bluff king jack. And then I have suited 9s. Well, suited 9 is a pair. So then I have like jack 10 suited and king 10 suited. So like I have to, my bluffs are going to come from like king 10 suited, king jack offsuit. Yeah, ACR, mostly my volume there is just on Sundays. King it off here. I am definitely calling. I don't want to 3-bet this hand. My 3-bets would more come from like, I don't know, like king 3 off or something. I do hit the 7. I don't hit the 3 or the deuce. I think this is a reasonable hand to start bluffing. I will have some suited 7s and stuff. I'll have some suited 3s and suited deuces. I don't have any pocket pairs though. But it's a good hand, just having like, starting to work on getting like some like Broadway hands to fold. Now this is a really good turn barrel, having the king of diamonds. Interesting raise here. Probably could mix some raise here with this hand, but I'm just going to fold. Yeah, so the best way to you really to like play more tables. Like I recommend just really you should just have your pre-flop like push fold stuff down like instant. Because really when I'm 12 tabling, like I'm pre-folding all my pre-flop spots, and like so many of the pre-flop decisions are automatic that you're really like you only have like one maybe two hands that go post-flop. I'm actually gonna check here. I thought the threes are not very conducive. Like we fold offsuit deuces and offsuit threes, so I don't have an advantage around the 3x here. He checked back though, so now he doesn't really ever have a 3. And he doesn't have like 8s plus, so we have like a huge nut advantage now, so we just start betting really big. I always end up chip leader, and then I struggle when the field gets down to 20 people and below. I mean, that's like in general, it's like the structure is like you're never gonna like maintain your chips just because that's how tournament poker and like the blinds increasing and stuff. It's always gonna like you're gonna end up blinding down always. We're gonna min raise here. Your board is just disconnected enough. I'm just going to go and bet one big blind. He doesn't really have offsuit deuces. And we block both, like, we block ace deuce of spades, 3 deuce of diamonds. I'm going to barrel here because I think I can just get, like, 10-9 with a 9 of clubs to fold. I can just get any like 7-6 with the 6 of clubs to fold. I have equity versus a king. And now we're just going to check back. Yeah, that seems fine. Maybe the turn is a little bit dicey. We're 5th out of 28 here, so we're actually in a pretty good spot. All right, next topic. Give me some more stuff to talk about. Too much dead air. We'll probably stream for the next hour. We'll go till 8 p.m. Pacific, and then we'll kind of cut it off since I'm not in the free roll anymore. No, you can ask as many questions as you want. I need stuff to talk about, Jeff. How many streams do you live stream? And when? I only stream when they ask me to. So we used to do like a monthly one or something, but that doesn't really happen much anymore. I've considered, I don't want to stream playing. I don't think that's something I'm interested in. But I might start building a Twitch channel or YouTube channel and just stream like me playing against the like peak GTO. Just like playing, button versus big blind versus the computer, playing, 3-bet pots versus the computer and stuff. So I think that's something I'm interested in and would actually enjoy. I don't really enjoy the whole like streaming while playing thing, so I might stream what you would call maybe like a study session Yeah, I think that's something I definitely might do. Because one, it helps build my one-on-one coaching, and two, it's just, whatever, paid study time in terms of like paid in terms of like potentially like getting coaching clients and stuff. This flop is not very good. Was that a bachelor party walking by? Oh, it might have picked up the volume. I was watching a video on my phone. There was apparently a streaker on the field during one of the college football games. Do I have a drink while playing poker? I'm drinking right now. I'm empty, though. I'm eagerly waiting the next break to go pour another bourbon. I might not wait till break, though. Where would you look for small buy-in tournaments to start building a bankroll from less than 5K? Less than 5K live is very difficult. Less than 5K online is not difficult. So with less than 5K, I would just play online personally. Like in my shoes, I would just play online. And I would just play a lot of like $5 and $10 and $20 tournaments and $30, $5 to $30 tournaments online. This is close. I'm actually going to check back here. What would your average VPIP be in a $30 tournament? High 20s, 27, something like that, 28. Could bet here for value, but I'm going to check back. Again, could bet for value, but I'm going to check back. It's kind of a nice way to have the ace of clubs in my range here. Did you ever have a normal job before poker? I have not had a job since I was like 18 or 19, working at the grocery store. Could 3-bet call here. I'm actually just going to call here. Yeah, so that's a question. Would you guys be interested in watching streams where I'm like playing against the computer and stuff? Do you still have the jerseys? Did you frame any of your deep runs? I still have jerseys. No, I didn't frame any of them. Yeah, if you're breaking even at $4 to $5 average buy-in, like you should really be spending a lot of your time studying then, because it's not very difficult to beat those games. So like you probably have some pretty fundamental leaks in your game. So I would just be spending like, honestly, probably like 50% of your study time, like at the beginning, just only study pre-flop. Make sure your pre-flop, use peak GTO, use GTO, whatever your like training platform of choices, but you just need to be drilling pre-flop spots like nonstop. That should be most of your study. Like if you have a fundamentally very good pre-flop game, your post-flop game doesn't have to be that good to beat $5 tournaments. So I would just really work on your post-flop game, work on like c-betting, very, very, very basic fundamental stuff. Scott. So I mean, it's kind of a cooler. Like Ace Nine would have, like if you had Ace Nine with 9 big blinds, you would have gone all in, or at least you should have gone all in. We are just gonna call here. I want to know how to design a computer to play against. We have a man. This gets a little dicey here versus this size, but I still don't. On a two-tone, can I fold here versus? No, it's only 40%. Not the worst card to lead. I mean, Marshall, we have peak GTO. With peak GTO, you can just drill against the computer. Every single spot is already solved. Yeah, I mean, I haven't opened Pile Solver myself, other than the random one or like 3 to 4 times in a couple of years now. Now that there's like the pre-solved, yeah, I kind of wanted to fold a flop that size. And now there's like all the pre-flop, not pre-flop, like pre-solved browser-based solvers. Like Pio is kind of, it's not obsolete. There's still very good reasons to use it, but yeah, you can just use those solvers like Peak GTO, which Poker Coaching release is perfect. Like that's what I would use. 6.5 big blinds per 100 is pretty good. Is that your all-in adjusted win rate, Marshall? Over 60K hands, that's pretty solid. Like, I mean, that would show that you should be winning at those games. You could have an ICM. I would filter what's your win rate for, like, say 0 to 60 big blinds, Marshall. Yeah, Marshall, filter your database for 0 to 60 big blinds. So I do this for like students that play on like Ignition when you start 500 big blinds deep and you're playing small stakes. And what that does is it basically filters like the times that like the person just gets in all in 500 big blinds with like 10-9 versus your aces because they register the tournament and then don't want to play anymore. So I would, yeah, I would filter for 0 to 60 and see what your win rate is. Yeah, I'm not sure what that means, Scott. I think I'm misreading your comment, Scott. Will studying get you a better RNG? Maybe. Alrighty. Break time. I will be back. Let's check on the free roll. $760 started. 142 left. 130 pace. We're on the bubble. Let's see here. Let's find the best screen name in here. The best screen name in here. I see Bourbon Dad. Mr. Bourbon Dad. In the chat, I see him. Not many good screen names. This is a pretty good one. Luka Doncic. There's a WSOP player name that's Luka Donk. Yeah, Marshall. Something maybe like a database review or something could be helpful with. I don't know if you have like poker friends that are winning that you can compare your database numbers to theirs. Check things out. Could be an ICM issue potentially. Maybe you're making some really big ICM mistakes. Those would be the things. But it's a pretty solid win rate. But, 50,000 hands is still a pretty small sample size. But if you're playing an average buy-in, what's your average field size, Marshall? If you're playing a $3 average buy-in, I imagine your field size is really high. Someone asked earlier what bourbon I'm drinking. I'm drinking some Knob Creek. Hi, AC. I know. We don't have any water. Actually, hold on. AC. Here. Come here. Mixing bourbon and Coke a thing? I know bourbon, Jack, and Coke's a thing. But that's whiskey. Actually need to go for a small 3-bet here. I would do this with kings and aces and ace king suited, and then the occasional bluff, but it's a good flop. I got a review from an MTT database review. What numbers were where did you get your database review from? Did someone do did you hire a coach to do it? Yeah, if you're playing 100-person fields, your variance shouldn't be that high. So it is definitely. I mean, there's variance, but like if you're winning at 7, like I would find it very hard to believe like your actual win rate is negative. Like maybe it's 3 and maybe it's 10, but I'd find it hard to believe your actual win rate is negative. I mean, Shark Scope's not really. Shark Scope is very, very useful for game selecting, but not really a leak finder by any means. Well, perhaps Marshall, when like if I do start streaming, like I would take some people and do like database reviews or something like that, and leak finders or something. So maybe that's something we could potentially do. Just gonna go for a check call. Do I play cash game steals? Just wondering how I feel like. I play like live cash every once in a while when I feel like it. Games are still good. How do you decide when to lead out when out of position like that ace king of club hand? There, I was just gonna bet my entire range. That was the pre-flop 3-better, and I have a range advantage at a shallow SPR, so I'm just gonna bet my entire range for a small size. What are you talking about, Marshall? Something about a bot in the Venom or something? Not sure what you're referring to. Deuces, man. I'm actually a fold here when versus like. Actually, no, I'm gonna shove because I think people shove too wide. So I have a reason here. I think folding this hand is actually fine, but the reason I shove here is that I think people shove too wide. Like they shove too strong in hands here. So they shove here with like pocket 9s and pocket 10s when they should min raise. So basically, like I think they shove too strong for 15. And what that does is it makes their raise call range too weak. So they end up raise folding too much. Who's he, Marshall? Oh, I see. Raise up the 9s. Gonna be raise calling. Do I ever study hands that I play on global? Yeah, so what I do on global is I'll have a notepad. And I just copy paste the URL from all the hand histories that I want to review. So yeah, and then I'll save it for the date. And then when I review the sessions, I'll just open up the URLs. Like they just open like a regular website. So yeah, I do that on global. But yeah, you can't do PT4 or anything there, clearly. You can just like line check spots. Jeff is hand for hand on the bubble. Good luck. If you and God's Toe played 10,000 hands of heads up sit and goes against each other, which one do you think would win and by how much? I am good friends with Toe, and I would win. And I mean, like, I don't have a huge edge, but I have an edge for sure. Is there a lot of players on Coin? They're building for sure. I mean, they're building a nice list of pros and stuff. I mean, they have 1,800 players right now. But this is like their schedule is more built around the Euro time zone. So for me, that would be like 8 or 9 a.m. Like all their Sunday major stuff starts at like 9 a.m. But on Coin, like they're building up, like they got Paz, Mario Mazbach. They have a lot of, and they have Ben CV now. Like, so they're building up like a decent list of like team pros. So, like, I think they're going to be, like, a decent player. Like, are they ever going to be the size of PokerStars or GG? No. But you don't need to be the size of those sites to be, like, a nice complementary site in the market. Their schedule is, like, reasonable. Like, they have a decent amount of volume. They run a lot of satellites to their tournaments. Like, I think they're doing a lot of things well. My only thing for me is, like, it's not even a specific, like, I don't even know how to describe it. It's just when I'm 12 tabling, I seem to time out more on coin tables more than any other tables. It's just, I don't know, something about the visuals that I don't notice when it's my action. But, yeah. I mean, I prefer that it's Bitcoin. Like honestly, like to deposit like $1,000 in Bitcoin, it costs like 20 cents or something, or maybe it costs $1. It's not really that expensive to move money in and out. But I'm not using USDT or ETH or whatever. Goal for 2025 is more volume on ACR and ignition so I can do more database study. Yeah, it's kind of a tough, like, as an American, like, I want database stuff. This spot sucks. I never know what to do with this hand. Like, doing fine versus all the pairs. They're probably shoving King Jack off. I mean, ugh. I'm going to do this really quick. Oopsies, so I can take a screenshot and then I'll show you like how I study this. I'm going to fold. There is like mild ICM here as well. But I think it's really close. Like, oh, I didn't take a screenshot of it. It's fine. We'll just kind of remember it. How many players started in this tournament? Yeah, so like it sucks as an American where like there's lots of volume on ACR and there's good volume on there and stuff, but it is tougher games. Like they're softer. Like it's always gonna be softer, better to play on a ring fence site. So I mean by ring fence, it's like WSOP.com where you can only play if you're in Nevada or Pennsylvania or Michigan or whatever, or global where you can only play the United States and Canada. Like it's better to play on PokerStars Spain than it is PokerStars rest of the world. And it's just like a competition thing. If you think of like any business, like it's better to play, like for example, if the USA shut out all outside the world business, U.S. businesses would do better because there's less competition, right? Now, would that be better for consumers? No. But U.S. businesses would make more money because there's less competition. So it's the same thing when, like, you have less of a player pool, there's less competition. And so you're going to make more money overall, if that makes sense. So I'm just relating, like, is that, like, the perfect example? No. Like, you can poke holes in that example for sure, but that's kind of how I think about it. So it's, like, always better if you're in, like, a ring fence market to like play. So that's why like WPT Gold is probably gonna be great because it's like global, but it's on steroids because it's got the second biggest brand in poker behind like the World Series and then World Poker Tour. Those are the two biggest brands. So what do I think of cash outs during hands on stars? I don't play on stars, so I have no idea. I'm assuming like when you're all in, you can. I'm gonna fold here. Like obviously this player, like this range, it's not going to be this. Like it's supposed to be aces and bluffs. I mean not just aces, but like. I'm assuming you mean when like you're all in, you can just like cash out your equity. Like if you're not playing any vig, sure, but I don't know. I don't really have an opinion. It's like running it twice in live cash or whatever. Like it just doesn't matter. Sub 20, these offsuit aces, just they don't play very well pre-flop. So just ripping it, we get called by all the like we get called by like ace 8 or worse, ace 7 or worse. Like we get called by worse. We fold out a hand like 9-10 off that has a lot of playability and equity against us, which is good. Do you make more steady income from cash games or tournaments? Tournaments. I don't really play much cash. Cash is like 5% of my play. And I think if you game select well and are able to play a very high volume, which many players aren't, like you can actually control variance. Like I run a lot of like prime dope, like tournament variance calculations for my volume. If I'm playing like 800 games a month, and I'm playing in really soft games, like with a $50 ABI, my like with in those games I'm beating them for like 25%, like very conservatively. So if we do this, like let's play around with this so we have some fun. Let me just pull it up on the side here really quick. So if you go here, you go to Prime Dope in Google, Prime Variance Calculator. And we go here to like Tournament Variance Calculator. Here, let's play this hand first. Should bet like 20% pot here. I mean, new online poker boom is kind of a. I think I've had this opinion. Other people disagree. I think online poker is the best it's been right now. Not the worst hand to barrel, but I beat all his like king jack of clubs, king jack of spades, queen jacks, queen tens. Like we just dominate a lot of stuff. This hand is actually a really good bluff catcher. This player doesn't have an ace very much. They're gonna check raise the flop at 10 big blinds. Like this value range is like a 9 or an 8. I do block king 9 and queen 9. I block some value bets. But the more important thing is like the bluffs here come from clubs and spades, like king 7 of clubs, king 10 of spades. Like we block that and we unblock all the straight draws. So like this is a pretty good bluff catcher. And they have king 9, which is good. Like that makes my call even feel better. Like I block value. 13 in the low jack with 3s. This is actually really close. I'm not the best at these spots. I think I can fold with 13. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, this. So if we go here, let's go like my average number of players is like pretty small. Like I choose like a 150 player field. Let's say it pays 20 spots. The buy-in's 50. The rake is 10%. My ROI is 25%. And I'm going to play 800, let's say. Okay. And my sample size, let's just run 1,000. So basically what we're going to look at here is just what I want to look at here is this. There's a number I want to look at here. So the inputs are 150 player field, and I'm making 25%. Okay, the buy-in's irrelevant, and I'm playing 800 per month. So what I've set up is 1,000 1-month samples, and what I want to find here is the percentage of loss. What that is where is this here? Yeah, probability of loss after 800 tournaments is only 5%. And if we go here and go to calculator and we go 12 times 0.05, that means I'm a favorite to have less than 1 losing month a year. Okay? I'm going to lose on average 1 month every 2 years. But let's say I make my ROI 15%. Okay? Now I'm up to 15%. So I tripled my loss rate, right? Going from a 25% to a 15% ROI. I tripled my loss rate. Or like when I say loss rate, like the chances of me having a losing month. Okay? So now I'm going to lose like, I have a reasonable chance of losing in a month. But let's like now go here and let's make this a 500 person. Like if I'm playing really big fields, let's just say 500 person. And let's go back to 25%, which is pretty high. Okay? And we go here, now my average chance, like look at my chance of a probability of loss. So all I did here was I went from a 150 person tournament to a 500 person tournament. Okay? And look at the probability of a loss. 33%. Now it's 6.5, 7 times. Okay? And then look now if I go here to a 15% ROI. Yeah, we're all in here. So if we go to a 15% ROI, like this is really, 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 really important, especially if you want to play for a living. Now look at where we're at. We're at a 40% probability of loss. I don't even know what's going on here, but I said I had a 96% chance of winning, so something good happened. So, like this is really important for a tournament poker player because, yes, tournaments are higher variance in cash. However, you can kind of control your variance. So, for example, like you want to find like what you're looking for in a good tournament is you want a tournament with high ROI. And so essentially like the larger the field size in general, the higher ROI you will have because there's more likely to be worse players. Sorry. So the higher the ROI, like larger fields are associated with higher ROI tended. But there's a lot of like, this is for example, like if you can find small field size games that are very soft with short average game times, that's like the holy grail of tournament poker. Okay. The holy grail of tournament poker is you want to find short average game times in small fields with high ROIs. Okay. Now, the smaller the buy-in you play, the larger the ROI you need. The higher the buy-ins you play, the lower the ROI, because you're going to make more money. Like if you're playing at $100 buy-in and making 15%, you're making $15 a game. That's the same as having a 50% ROI in a $20 game. Okay. So like that's kind of why like high rollers happen, is because you don't like if you have a 5% ROI in a 25K tournament, like the average game time's not that long because they're kind of turbo-ish. Like that's kind of what's going on in those like high roller fields. The variance but like ROI and like these field size. So like this is why like this is not me shilling for CoinPoker or anything like that. Like Queen 3, I'm actually gonna fold here. I'd call like versus button and stuff. But like if you notice here in the tournament lobby on Coin, like all these guarantees and stuff, like yeah, they're small field tournaments, like $25 8, $100. Like that's great. Like I don't know what the achievable ROI in this tournament. I have to do some shark scope work of like who the best regs are and stuff. These double high cards work pretty well as a raise at these stacked ups, but like limping here is fine. I don't think I like shoving here. So like you can kind of like in essence control your ROI. So like a better example would be like coming up in poker, like sit and goes were so great because you could beat sit and goes for like 10% ROI and your average game time is like 30 minutes. And like it was literally just a money printer, right? And there's no variance because it's like a 9-person tournament with a 10% ROI. It's like so amazing. Now sit and goes are kind of dead because like the ROI is like you just play to break even and then get your rake back. So you're beating them for like 2 to 5% just based off like rake back or something. Although like on global they just added rake back to sit and goes, but like people focus way too much on guarantees. Now this is the problem with live poker, like live tournament poker. So someone asked me before, like what tournaments would they play with a $5,000 bankroll in live tournaments? And I said I would play online. And the reason is like you can play live dailies, but the smallest stakes you're gonna find are like $100. And the problem with the $100 live dailies is they have like $30 rake. So you're paying 30% rake. So just to break even, you have to be a 30% winner. Okay? So if you beat the games for 50%, you're only making a 20% ROI. And that's a problem. So like you can't really play the smallest stakes because they're not really beatable. Like would I be a winner in a $70 daily tournament that has $50 of buy-in and $20 in rake? Probably, but I probably wouldn't be beating it for that much because the rake is so high, right? And the structure's so bad that like, I don't know. But like, so like, let's say you're playing like $150 dailies. Well, now you're playing $150 tournaments with 100 people. This is close to a shove or a min raise. Like, I'm going to min raise here and, like, I'll fold to, like, this player, but, like, call the later positions. This player's just going to have a too strong. Like, I fold the earlier positions and call later positions. Like, the problem with playing live tournaments is, like, you're playing $200 tournaments on a 5K bankroll. Like, your risk of ruin. Like, you could be a 100% ROI winner and you're still a favorite to go broke. So that's why online poker is so... Like, you build your bankroll online. Like, it's the only way to do it, in my opinion. Or you play 1-2 cash with 5K bank. Like, you could do that. But even that's still high variance. Like, you can just... being able to, like, bankroll manage online is just so much easier because you can play $1 tournaments. You could play with a $200 bankroll and play properly bankrolled online. You just build $200 up to whatever, like, amount and just gradually move up. But you can't do that live. There's no game that you can play live where you're bankrolled with $200 or $100. That's why online poker is so great, in my opinion. This is actually close to a limp, and I could call a shove. Or shoving myself. I'm actually just going to shove myself. If I had like Jack 10 suited, I would for sure limp. Jack 9 suited, I'd probably limp too. queen 9 suited, queen 10 suited, queen jack suited. All those hands I limp and then call a shove. Because like when I shove, they fold queen 9, queen 8, queen 7, all those hands. But like they're gonna shove some like really raggedy hands that I dominate. And like if it goes limp check, like I don't care. My hand dominates so many other hands. Like now I could go limp check. They have jack deuce. I have queen jack suited, and then it comes jack high, and I just double up. Let's check out the free roll here. I'm gonna end the stream at 8 in 30 minutes. There's 18 left here, or until this tournament's done. Kind of nice to just win $400 on stream. I'll take that. Down to 92 players. Hates clowns. That's not very nice. Let's see here. Any other good... Anyone in chat still in the free roll? Anyone in the chat still in the free roll? Could you find enough home game tournaments for a $100 buy-in with no rate? Not that I know of. I've never played a home game tournament. So I don't. So no. The answer is no. This is an interesting spot because there's no small blind. So, like, I'm risking the same amount to win a half a big blind less, which is pretty significant. I'm winning 25% less whenever I shove, so I'm just going to mid-raise now. Yeah, you can come in. Not the best flop. I could bet fold. I think I'm just going to bet fold. It's good when I don't get check raise, and that's a good turn card. Now we just get a shove river. Just some good call here. All right, he just wants to raise call off the 10-9. All right. Yeah, I mean, I would marshal. I mean, there's other sites to play on that I would recommend over ACR. But again, you get a database of stuff, you know. I've mentioned sites and stuff. Like Global's got a lot of small stakes stuff, small field sizes and everything. So you just pour one in his water bowl on the right. Cold or not? Doesn't matter. Wow, this raise called the King 7. Alright, good game in this. I guess what we will do then is we'll rail the free roll for a few minutes and then cut this off. You can play a little cash or something. Let's see here. Where's Bourbon Dad's table? Since he's in the chat and still in. We'll rail his turn. Oh, no, he busted. Don't. No. Who else is still in the Bourbon? It looks like you just busted, and you are. Probably won't hurt him.
So yes.
You know, give him like a piece of one. You definitely have green beans for sure.
Yeah, but it's deep fried.
Yeah.
And it's breading.
Yeah, or just wipe the breading off. But yeah, it's fine. It's not gonna hurt him. So they put on 2K and they're holding. Oh, you have to. Yeah, like if you deposit, you have to play through your deposit.
No.
Oh, that's kind of brutal if you're playing small segs. All right. So what we're gonna do here is, so first off, is there any more questions or anything left in the chat? We'll pull up like a table or something in the free roll. Actually, you know what we'll do? That's not fun. We'll pull up like, how much? I don't even have much money in this account. Let's just pull up like a, I don't know, $250 or something. Ooh, should we play some PLO? Sure, we'll play some PLO. Actually, do they have a PLO high-low here? A 5-card? No, they don't have high-low. We'll play PLO for like 15 minutes and then we'll shut down the stream. So if anyone has any questions or anything like that. Ooh, we have someone in there. All right, I'll pull up the table on the side. Post your screen name if you're still in the free roll. Wow, this is a pretty good PLO hand to just sit into. Just get the ace, king, queen, 6 double. I feel like I'm supposed to just 3-bet this hand. Maybe, I don't know. I'm not really a PLO player, but it seems like a pretty good hand to just 3-bet out of position. High card, lower the SPR. Kind of sucks if I get 4-bet though, but. All right, all in the first hand we play. Actually, do we ever want to check here and just check call off though? I don't know. Maybe not. I don't know. Maybe not. Yeah, if you're in the free roll, post your screen name and I can pull the table up. Let's gamble. Jack 10, 7, 8. We're up against a pair of 7s. He makes trips. That's no good. Well, we lost a buy-in pretty quickly there. Got a nice overlay, though, from the King 8-6-3 Badoogie. Is it easy to add BTC onto coin? Yeah, it takes like, I don't know. I just deposited Bitcoin and took 5-10 minutes. Just as long as it would take any transaction to go through. Let's see here. Let's pull up the free roll, someone's table here. So what we'll do here is we'll go, I think I can do... Oh. No, let's do this. And then I can pull up, let's go tournaments, the free roll. Whose screen names do we have still in? D4 something. There's that name. Football game too.
I actually fired on this game.
All right. Hope you took the over. So we got. I don't know how do you pronounce this name? D4 Noah is in the chat. Who else? You guys didn't post your screen name. Lionel Richard, is that your name on there? Do you have to pay taxes in the U.S. on your income? Yes. You pay the taxes. Or we can get like, let's get a Hold'em. Is there like a heads up game or something? Let's school someone in heads up. $1, $2, a little too high. I guess we could short stack someone. That sounds kind of fun. All right, we'll play heads up. All right, so we got a heads up table and PLO. Whoa, hello, Jose. Wow, it's always good when they fold the button the first hand with an ante. If maybe we found a spot. Two folds from the player heads up. We might have found one. Nope, he didn't fold that one. I'll fold this. I haven't played a heads up no limit in freaking forever. Cash at least. Like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do here with an ante. I guess I can fold. Never bluffing is your screen name. It probably means you are always bluffing. Alright, let's see here. Let's find this player. Alright, so we got two of the free roll people here. Up. So we got 4 tables up here. We'll go for the break. 13 more minutes to the break, and then we'll King Deuce. I would defend. I still might have to defend every suited king here. Like, I would for sure defend, like, King 5 of clubs without question. King Deuce is a little bit questionable, but... Wow, pots. Yeah, it's probably fine to pot it there. Nine sevens, easy to defend. And we're just going to fold the 6 high flush draw with no backup. So we got here, we have Danro, and then here we got Never Bluffing. Pretty good spot. Like, we're bluffing. We can bet like Jack X, good Jack X, 6X, reasonable hand to bluff. We gotta get Nero back here. You won the 1 pot, 3 bet pot. This is actually really close. I think I'm going to defend here versus a small bet size with a backdoor flush draw, backdoor straight draw. But it is close. Someone could tell me this is a fold and I'd believe them. I think I want more of a combo draw to defend here. Yeah, we got him. GG. Give me your stack. Easy game, people. Easy game. What? You 3-bet deuces? What the fuck? I didn't even notice the board paired. How the hell does he have deuces there, though? Not quitting him now. I don't think that can be a good 3-bet. Maybe I'm wrong. Could be wrong. So basically my strategy adjustment against this player is he's just going to get 4-bet a shitload. Now, when he's like 3-betting deuces, like we're just going to start 4-betting him with pretty recklessly. This is actually probably too thin. Yeah, that's what I thought. It's probably too thin of a... Not sure what I'm supposed to do here versus squeeze. I just don't want to let this player realize their equity. Like now this player just gets... Problem is I don't want to 4-bet fold this hand. I mean, I think we just call mostly. I just 4-bet worse hands. Probably not the worst hand to start bluffing, but... I mean, we're just 3-bet calling this off now. But most of the time it's just going to go call fold. Never bluffing in a big pot. Maybe we'll fold this one. $4x now. That's interesting. Fold. I just don't think I'm supposed to be folding many buttons. I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing. This is probably bad. This probably can never be that bad. Not the worst hand to just like raise some frequency here and just reduce the SPR. Calling is certainly fine. Alright, we're going to go for 7 more minutes. So if you have any more questions, now is the time to get them in. It's kind of fun playing cash again online. Haven't done that in a while. Fold and fold. On rod making a big shove and gets it through. Certainly can raise everything suited. Yeah, I'm guessing like a lot of my strategy here heads up with the ante is just like I can fold the bottom like 10% on the button, and then the big blind just 3-bets absurdly, very, 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 very linearly, like 9-8 suited, 10-9 suited plus. I'm just probably supposed to play some limps, but I don't know. I'm too lazy to play limps. Fold this Jack 7-5-4 on the button. Yeah, we got a hand. Heads up here. Heads up's fun. This seems like too good to 4-bet. Just call. I just have so many like Jack 8 suited and stuff to start betting that I don't need to bet this. Yeah, Tommy, like books like that probably are like just not that relevant anymore. How often am I raising the button? I'm assuming you're talking like, yeah, now he's getting like, this seems like a reasonable hand to start 4-betting now. I'm assuming you're asking like how often do I raise and fold to a 3-bet in this heads up? Like pretty often. Like his 3-bet size is $10, so 10 big blinds. So it's like I can fold quite a bit. Like I'm not getting a good price, so like folding a lot is very reasonable. All right, we're gonna sit out next big blind here. And we'll start shutting down these tables. Good luck to Danro and Never Bluffing. We'll watch this hand with Never Bluffing here. Certainly calling this 3-bet. Mostly calling the flop. Unless he uses some ridiculous sizing. Potentially could raise the flop here some, but we'll just call him. Versus check. Now we turn a gutter. This is kind of an annoying spot. Probably gonna fold. Jack just connects with enough of our range that I think I can fold this now. Alright. Play one more button versus this guy and then wrap it up. pretty big here. All right. All right, we're going to call it here. Good luck, everyone, in the rest of the free roll. Thank you for everyone for tuning in. No idea who's streaming in this next week, but we got kind of wrecked there in the short cash session. That was fun. So, yeah, thank you, everyone, and I will see you later. Keep in touch on the website.